In the bustling town of Lagos, there lived an Instagram personality named Adanna. Adanna was the epitome of modern glamour, with her meticulously curated feed showcasing exotic travels, designer outfits, and most importantly, her extravagant weddings. Her journey began with Chidi, a dashing entrepreneur. Their wedding was a grand event that got all social media outlets talking. Yet, Adanna felt unease as the wedding glow faded. "Chidi, I can't keep living like this," she said one evening, her voice doting boredom. Chidi taken aback. "Adanna, it's still death do us part, oh." Adanna's mind was made up. She wasn't cut out for all the mundane tasks of married life. Next came Bayo, a suave musician whose soulful tunes captivated her heart. Their wedding was a fusion of music and dance. It was the talk of the town. However, the post-wedding bliss was short-lived. Adanna found herself looting the quiet night at home while Dayo composed music. "Dayo, I am tired of this. There's no excitement in this marriage. I am done, Joe." Bayo stopped strumming his guitar, shocked. Just like that, Adanna moved on, her followers mesmerized by her dramas, eagerly awaiting the next gist. Her fourth wedding preparation to Chuka, Amaka, her best friend, confronted her. "Ine, are you sure about what you're doing to yourself? 4 marriages in 6 months? Adanna, draped in designer gown, replied, feeling herself. "I'm living my best life, girl. All the glamour, the thrills, attention, they are worth living for." Amaka tried advising her. "Ine, marriage is not for fun fairs alone. In fact, your weddings are just initiation to the main work of marriage." "It is the work that I don't want," Adanna replied. Adanna's marriage to Chuka had started with high hopes, but Chuka's traditional beliefs stood in the way for Adanna. One evening, Adanna was lounging on the plush sofa in their living room, scrolling through her phone. She had just posted a glamorous picture from their recent vacation, the likes and comments flooding in almost instantly. Chuka entered the living room, holding a stack of laundry. "Adanna, can you help me fold these clothes?" he asked. Adanna, barely looking up from her phone. "Can't you get the housekeeper to do it?" "Just leave it. She'll be here in the morning." Chuka frowned, frustration evident in his eyes. "And why can't you do it?" he asked. "You know I don't like doing chores," Adanna replied him. Chuka wasn't pleased with her answer, and this brought a dent in their marriage. Adanna laid in bed, shocked at how such a mundane task as folding clothes could make her husband sad for days. Their marriage eventually crumbled under the weight of their differences, ending in yet another divorce. Preparations were underway for Adanna's 5th wedding. This time, she was marrying Tunde, a renowned Nollywood actor who captivated her with his charm. The city buzzed with anticipation as paparazzi were ready to capture every detail of the wedding for their fans who were eagerly waiting to view. At the bridal shower, Amaka couldn't help but speak with her friend again. "Girl, I hope you're happy." "I'm excited, boo. I am," Adanna replied her. The wedding was a boost of engaging activities as Adanna had practiced her skill of throwing lavish weddings. Conversations flowed freely as the champagne. At one table, gossips about her previous marriages ensued. Some say she's possessed, as how will a person have numerous weddings in one year? At another table, one said she has enchanted eyes, as how she entices the men to marry her. In the quiet of the evening, Tunde led Adanna to the balcony. "Adanna," he said softly, "I know you love the excitement, but I want you to know we can work this part together. Trust me." Adanna, taken aback at his soft words, fell into his embrace. Months passed, and the circle of restlessness returned. Despite all that Tunde did, ensuring she goes on vacations frequently, aids to attend to her needs, allowed her time to spend with her friends. One evening, after a particularly heated argument, Tunde confronted Adanna. "What do you want, Adanna?" he blurted out. "Another wedding? More excitement?" Adanna's eyes filled with tears. "I don't know, Tunde. I keep chasing the thrill." Tunde sighed. "Then you need to figure out what you want before dragging someone else into it." The conversation left Adanna shaking. She had never seen Tunde in such manner. As the sun set over Lagos, casting long shadows across the city, Adanna sat alone in her apartment, the remnants of her glamorous life scattered around her. The echoes of her argument with Tunde still rang in her ears. This was the end of her fifth marriage. Despite her outward appearance of confidence, Adanna was left grappling with an emptiness she couldn't quite understand. Tunde had been different from her previous husbands. He did the most to accommodate her, yet the restlessness still lingered. As the judge finalized the dissolution of their marriage, Tunde turned to Adanna, his voice barely above a whisper. "I hope you find what you're looking for, Adanna." She nodded, unable to meet his eyes. "I'm sorry, Tunde, I really am." He sighed, a mixture of sadness and resignation. "Take care of yourself." The ride home was silent, the city lights blurring into a stream of colors through her window. Adanna's mind drifted back to the moment everything began to unravel. Adanna's parents had divorced when she was 12. The memory of her mother, a vibrant woman who withered away into a shadow of herself after the divorce, haunted her. The sorry image of her mother was the very thing Adanna so fiercely rebelled against. "I won't become like her," Adanna had vowed to herself. As she arrived home, the silence was deafening, so she called her friend Amaka, who arrived quickly, sensing her friend was in turmoil. "I think we should find a good therapist in the city," Amaka advised her. Adanna nodded. She was ready to confront the trauma of her parents' divorce. In the months that followed, Adanna embarked on a journey of self-discovery and healing as she sought therapy. Adanna's life began to take on a new rhythm. She decided to take a break from relationships to try to understand the pattern that plagued her past. But as time passed, she met Emeka, a philanthropic scientist whose calm demeanor and thoughtful nature intrigued her. He was unlike anyone she had been with before, steady, grounded, and genuinely interested in her beyond her social media persona. One evening, Emeka invited her to a cozy restaurant by the waterfront. The ambience was soft and serene. As they settled into their seats, Emeka smiled at Adanna. "You look beautiful tonight," he said, his eyes sincere. "Thank you, Emeka. This place is lovely," Adanna replied, genuinely touched by his compliment. They chatted so easily about almost everything. Adanna found herself relaxing warmly to his company. She felt it was time she addressed the elephant in the room. "Emeka," she began, her voice soft but steady. "I know you probably have some concerns about my past marriages. I mean, 5 divorces is not exactly a great track record." Emeka nodded, his gaze steady. "I won't lie, Adanna, it did make me curious. But I believe everyone has their own journey and reasons. I would like to understand yours." She opened up and shared the trauma from her parents' divorce and how it had affected her and the progress from therapy. "It takes a lot of courage to face your past and make changes. I'm glad you're on that journey," Emeka said. The evening was a beautiful experience for Adanna. As they took a walk along the waterfront, Emeka said, "Adanna, I believe in second chances, third, fourth, and even fifth. What matters is what we do with them." Adanna smiled, a sense of gratitude washing over her. "Thank you, Emeka. I'm looking forward to this journey with you." Married life with Emeka was more palatable. Adanna had fallen into a comfortable routine, quiet evenings at home, weekend getaways, and meaningful conversations. Yet, the feeling of emptiness still haunted her. No matter how hard she tries to ignore it, like a shadow, it refused to dissipate. Emeka returned from work one evening, finding Adanna staring blankly at her phone. The usual vibrant energy in the apartment felt stifled. "Hello, baby," Emeka greeted her, leaning over to kiss her. "You seem a bit off. Is everything okay?" She tried forcing a smile. "Baby, I feel off. It's the empty feeling again," she said. "I thought things were better. Have you been speaking with your therapist?" Emeka asked. "Yes, baby," she replied. "When the medications wear off, it seems as though I continue from where I stopped," she said, crying. A heavy silence fell between them, the weight of her words pressing down on him. "Adanna, I love you, but I can't help you if you won't let me in. What is really going on?" She looked at him, her eyes filled with frustration and confusion. "I don't know, Emeka. I thought being with you would make a difference." Emeka's face tightened with a mix of hurt and frustration. "So what are you saying? That I'm not enough?" "That's not what I mean," she said. "It's not about you, it's me." She tried protesting, but Emeka couldn't have it. He just was in disarray over his wife's confession. I think we both need to figure out who we are without relying on each other to fill our gaps. Maybe that's the only way to heal, Emeka said, as he filed for divorce. Adanna couldn't believe the turns of her life. She sought solace in solitude, volunteering, and informing others of mental health. Adanna's 10th wedding to Chief Olumide, a 58-year-old wealthy divorcee known for his expansive business empire. The contrast between their ages stirred conversations, with many speculating whether this would be the wedding that lasted. The wedding was held at a luxurious estate overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, a venue more opulent than anything Adanna had ever dreamed. As the sun set, guests arrived in a parade of luxury cars, their outfits as extravagant as the event itself. In the bridal suite, Adanna was in the most dazzling dress, gold intricated custom made by the top designer in the continent. As she gazed at herself in the mirror, a mix of excitement and anxiety flickered in her eyes. "You'll be fine, my darling," Amaka, her most loyal friend, tried uplifting her spirit. "Just stay true to yourself. By the way, girl, this gown is the most beautiful. You look so dashing in it." "Thank you, Amaka," Adanna replied, grateful for a friend as Amaka, with her head held up high, she was ready for her most amazing wedding. Downstairs, Chief Olumide mingled with his guests, his presence commanding respect and admiration. He was dressed in an impeccably tailored suit, his demeanor calm and collected. The reception was a lavish affair. Guests dined on exquisite cuisines. The dance floor was alive with energy, a blend of traditional and modern music, keeping everyone on their feet. Adanna and Chief Olumide shared their first dance, moving gracefully to a romantic ballad. As they swayed together, Adanna felt a fleeting sense of contentment, though the familiar restlessness lingered in the back of her mind. Chief Olumide spoke softly to Adanna when the music was low. "Adanna," he began, "I know people talk. They question our age differences, your past marriages, but I believe we can prove them wrong. We have a chance to build something real." Adanna smiled. "Lucky that she has him. I believe that too, Olumide. I truly want this to work." He held her hands and affectionately said, "Then let's take it one day at a time, together." The evening continued with laughter, heartfelt speeches, and more dancing. Adanna reveled in the attention and the glamour, momentarily pushing aside the thoughts that plagued her. As the night wore on, Adanna found herself in conversation with some of the guests, one of them a well-known blogger named Annabelle. "Adanna, I must say, you know how to throw a wedding," Annabelle remarked. "This is absolutely spectacular." "Thank you, Annabelle," Adanna replied, her smile radiant. "I wanted it to be perfect." Annabelle's expression turned more serious. "People are talking, you know. They wonder if this marriage will be different from the others." Annabelle's smile faltered slightly. "I know there are doubts, but I truly believe this time will be different. Chief Olumide is everything I've been looking for." Annabelle nodded, though her eyes held a hint of skepticism. "I hope so, Adanna. You deserve happiness." As the night drew to a close, Adanna and Chief Olumide retired to their honeymoon suite, a luxurious room with a panoramic view of the ocean. As they settled into bed, Adanna felt a mix of excitement and uncertainty. "Good night, my love," Chief Olumide whispered, kissing her gently. "Good night, Olumide," Adanna replied, snuggling into his embrace. She closed her eyes, trying to silence the nagging voice in her head that warned of the emptiness that still locked within her. What do you think might be wrong with Adanna? Let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe.